Hollywood comes with glitz and glamour, but once you're inside, you see the ugly truth. People lost in their fame and fortune, those trying to gain the fortune back, and some lost with drugs and alcohol. Here are 15 actors who became awful human beings. Number 10. Ryan Grantham. Ryan Grantham was a rising star who took the life of his mother on March 31, 2020, with the intention of taking the life of the Prime Minister of Canada, then changed his mind to do a school shooting at Simon Fraser University. He did not carry out either plan. The young Canadian actor began his career as a child. In 2010, he appeared in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, playing Rodney James, and he also appeared in Riverdale. Grantham pleads guilty to second-degree murder. In Canada, it carries an automatic sentence of life in prison. Grantham recorded a video confession to shooting his mother in the back of the head. He will be eligible for parole after 14 years behind bars. Number 9. Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes started her fame at a young age, and she was a name known across the world by many kids and young teens. She was a Nickelodeon star that went to the big films and having her own shows. In late 2014, she was arrested for a DUI and had a bond set for $15,000. The arrest happened in the middle of the intersection. This was not her first or last DUI. Earlier, in 2013, she was arrested for starting a fire in her neighbor's front yard and throwing a bong from her Manhattan apartment. Bynes had years of trouble with substance abuse, and she announced that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She was placed in a conservatorship from August 2013 to March 2022 due to her crazy antics and how bad her behavior was. She has not been on screen since 2010. Number 8. Edward Furlong. At 13 years old, Furlong started in one of the best action movies of all time, Terminator 2. His face was known across the world. Furlong began a life of partying and became addicted to drugs, making it difficult to retain or keep any acting roles. He was married in April 2006, but his then-wife filed for divorce in July 2009. Following the filing for divorce, his wife placed a restraining order after he hit her under the influence. In 2010, he was given 3 years probation for breaking his restraining order. His abusive behavior did not stop. From 2012 to 2013, he would hit his girlfriend. Ultimately, he went to jail for 180 days in March of 2013. He was a long-time meth user, and now he is laying low and staying sober. Number 7. Marcus T. Pault. Pault got his break on Moesha, a sitcom that ran from 1996 to 2001. From there, he had many supporting roles, like in High School Musical 3 and Take the Lead. In February 2015, he was arrested in Arizona. He was charged with DUI and possession of a controlled substance. He got a year of probation. His bad actions only continued. In August 2013, he kicked his girlfriend during an argument during a night out at the club. He felt like his girlfriend was not giving the right attention. His then-girlfriend ended up in the hospital with internal injuries. He turned himself to the cops and a plea bargain was placed, a restraining order and a mandated 12-month program for domestic violence treatment. Number 6. Willow Brancato. Willow Brancato starred in The Bronx Tale, the first movie Robert De Niro directed. Although not a box office hit, it was loved by many critics. Brancato got paid $25,000 for a screen appearance. As fame and fortune knocked on his door, he could not resist alcohol and the drugs that came with it. He got hooked on heroin and coke. In the summer of 2005, he got pulled over for a broken taillight. Upon searching his car, the cops found bags and bags of heroin. Another incident came in December 2005. He was arrested for the murder of an off-duty cop. Brancato's friend was the one who shot the cop after the off-duty cop saw him and Lillo allegedly trying to break into a home. Lillo's friend was found guilty of first-degree murder and given life without parole. As for Lillo himself, he was charged with second-degree murder charges, and a jury found him innocent of the charge. Number 5. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf started his career at a young age. From starring in Even Stevens to the Transformer franchise, he has built a nice acting resume. This former Disney Channel star has taken a few wrong turns that have drifted him away from Hollywood. In 2014, he was charged with harassment and arrested outside a New York theater. He was drunk yelling obscene comments and slapped the bottom of one of the performers. In July 2017, he was arrested in Georgia for being a nuisance due to a woman not letting him grab a cigarette. LaBeouf pled guilty to his action and was court-ordered to go to rehab and anger management. The cherry on top is an outburst in 2020 when his ex-girlfriend claimed he assaulted her, among sexual battery and infliction of emotional distress. The trial will begin in April 2023. Number 4. Joey Kramer. Starring in the 1986 Disney film, Flight of the Navigator was a science fiction movie engraved in the hearts of many Disney fans. The movie is regarded as a cult classic, and it was the seed in the film tech business. Kramer played the lead role in this movie, and it is what he is most remembered for to this day. Like many on this list, with his fame and fortune, he took a turn to the wrong, dark road. In 2008, he was arrested for carelessly having a firearm. He was given 3 months probation. In the same year, he was convicted of planning to sell drugs and was given a 6-month sentence. In 2011, he was in trouble once again for drinking in public and convicted of cashing forged checks and taken to jail for having a weapon while yelling threats. The cherry on top of his antics was in 2016 when he was arrested for a bank robbery in British Columbia. He pled guilty and was sentenced to 2 years in jail and 2 years of probation. Number 3. Dana Plato. Plato took to figure skating, making it her goal to reach the Olympics. She ended up doing commercials before fully pursuing acting. She is mostly recognized for playing Kimberly Drummond in Different Strokes. Sadly, she had been battling with substance abuse all her life. Her first overdose came at the ripe age of 14. She was married from 1984 till 1988. Her mother passed away the week of her announced separation. She gave power of attorney to an accountant who disappeared with the majority of her money. On top of that, 1990, she lost custody of her son. In 1991, she used a pellet gun to rob a video store, being arrested 15 minutes later. The following year, she spent 30 days in jail for forging a prescription and violating her parole. After losing her money and battling with substance abuse, she was barely able to get jobs. Number 2. Todd Bridges. Todd Bridges was in Everybody Hates Chris, Little House on the Prairie, and Roots, a well-known face across television. Like many celebrities on this list, he started abusing drugs at a young age, and by his early 20s, he was addicted to crack and meth. To feed his addiction, he would buy and sell the hard stuff to keep going. In 1989, things took a turn. He was arrested for attempted murder. He was arrested and charged for trying to kill a drug dealer with lead poisoning. Bridges insisted he was not guilty, putting Johnny Cochran in charge of his defense in court. He was found not guilty of all charges. It was the testimony of a witness who said that Bridges was not at the scene during the time of the murder. His crimes did not stop. In 1992, he was arrested in California for having drugs and meth in his car. He wrote a memoir, and in it, he confessed that the arrested had him contemplating unliving himself. He stopped using and dealing the following year. He has been sober ever since. A nice turn that many do not reach. Number 1. Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown is best known for playing Eddie in the hit Disney Channel series, That's So Raven. He was one of Raven's best friends. He also starred in Mayor Payne. Brown has found himself in a lot of trouble and in a lot of viral internet videos. In those videos, you see him act weird, look weird, and you can tell that drugs have gotten the best of him. In February 2016, he violently assaulted his girlfriend. The abuse took place in the parking lot of a California police station. When cops pulled up, they found Brown with drugs and charged him with possession, domestic battery, and obstruction of justice. After being released by paying a bond, he failed to appear on his court date. He was re-arrested after being found fighting with his girlfriend and her mom. He got released again on bond. The story repeats, as he failed to show up to his court and he fled to Nevada. In the summer of 2016, he was caught by bounty hunters. 2016 was a year of him as the cops, as he broke into a restaurant owned by one of his friends and tried to change the locks. His last arrest came in 2022. He is being held in Ohio with a $25,000 bond. He got arrested for threatening his brother with a broken knife and hammer.